What's going on, everyone? So we have an interesting article here to talk about. Definitely after the recent two failed games over at PlayStation, which we know that just got canceled. And you would think that we're gonna go right to this. After that, there'll be more video game focus now and getting back to what they do well. So don't say Xbox is dead over here. No, no, no. Looking like PlayStation is having some death phases over there. Let's be a little bit more honest over here, right? And we see over in the Pony world, they've been very quiet. They haven't said anything since that was going on. It's like, yeah, don't be hypocrites. But let's get into this. So right here we see Mr. PO's page. He says, "Insane what happened to PlayStation this shit. Ben Studio live service game canceled. Last of Us Factions canceled. God of War live service game canceled. London Studios live service game canceled. Spider-Man The Great Web canceled. Twisted Metal live service game canceled. Concord, the biggest failure in company history, canceled." But we're about to get into what's also important is how they have, because we're going to talk about this too, more movies and TV shows in development than PlayStation 5 games. Whatever the hell's going on over there, right? Because everything we're seeing is like, what are you doing? So all these canceled. Guys, you want to know what's going to be joining that? It better, or it's going to be the next Concord. Fair game. They better not launch that game. So don't do it. Don't launch it. Don't launch it. They do it, guys. I don't know what to say. But yeah, we can probably put that along that list, right? I mean, whole generation getting blown away. Like, what the hell's going on? So, getting back over here, Sony now has more movies and TV shows in development than PlayStation 5 games. Good lord, right? Let's go down this list. The first major PlayStation announcements of the year aren't any new games, but two movies based on Horizon Zero Dawn, which nobody asked for, and Helldivers 2. 2024 was an awfully quiet year for Sony, so was 2023, which is Spider-Man 2. When it came to major new game releases, and 2025 doesn't look that much better. See, that's what I've been trying to tell people. I'm over here just being realistic, right? And they all get in their feelings. With Ghost of Yotei, the only new first-party PlayStation exclusive currently scheduled, and that's maybe in trouble. We're going to see what happens with that, right? Depending on the political direction it's going. Games such as Insomniac's Wolverine and Naughty Dog's Intergalactic The Heretic project have been announced, but there's currently no clue as when they'll be out exactly. And Kojima's also pushing back games. We don't know if Death Stranding 2 is coming out at the end of the year or not. Most likely it might, but that's going to be timed. That's going to be going to other platforms, just to let y'all know. In the meantime, Sony has decided to kick off the year with a bunch of movie and TV announcements instead, with no less than three projects confirmed on its press conference at CES 2025. First, a film adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn. We know the Last of Us TV series is coming out, which that's going to be good, but we know they've been focusing on that, so that's going to be over there um, later on this year. And then, which presumably sprung from the ashes of the canceled TV show that was meant to air on Netflix. Frankly, a movie always seemed like more sensible options given the amount of CGI that would be needed. PlayStation Productions Assad made no mention of the Netflix show while announcing the movie, once saying the film is in early stages and, like the Uncharted and Gran Turismo film, will be a co production. So there we go. We got Uncharted, we got Gran Turismo, we got Horizon, we got the Last of Us series, we got Twisted Metal. You guys ready for the next one that's gonna about to get added in? Until Dawn, that launched yesterday, 24 hours ago. The Until Dawn movie trailer makes it look like a dozen horror films. It says right here, Sony's Until Dawn movie looks nothing like the video game. I agree. Looks like they mixed in some Dead by Daylight with some other stuff. But once again, who wants this, right? Guys, let's think about this. Let me adjust some things here a little bit. Man, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. When you look at something like The Last of Us, that makes sense, right? Because that was a huge game. And then part two was, huge in its own way. It made hits, right? At least we could see Helldivers 2 blew up, whatever, thanks to PC for some of that. And then we see like maybe if they try to do like a God of War or something, you know what I mean? Movie and all that they try to do. Those games are massive. Until Dawn. Nobody asked for this. There's plenty of other TV shows coming out on Netflix, Amazon, and all that that are going to be better than that, and movies. Who wants this? Nobody does. So once again, another dumb move, just like they did Until Dawn remastered, right? Did you not know they just recently launched that? Just take a look at this. Until Dawn on Steam. Original versus remaster. Then they did the Horizon remaster because they don't know what they're doing and they're trying to fill in the gaps. And they come out with a movie after that. What are you doing? Nobody wants this. You know what I mean? It's like they're making so many mistakes. I just find it very funny how these PlayStation ponies are being such dumbasses and trying to say that Xbox is dead, but Sony's sitting over here dying in a different way. It's not the same Sony you've seen before. Nobody wants Until Dawn movie. It's unnecessary. So Uncharted movie, I guess that can make sense. You know what I mean? We can see some flair in that, right? We can possibly see if Horizon Zero Dawn is an animated realistic that has some like flair to it, right? Gran Turismo, I'm not so sure about that. You know what I mean? I don't know how that's going to turn out. Um, but like I said, Uncharted can be okay. Twisted Metal, we're going to have to see what happens with that. Helldivers 2 movie, I don't know. Which seems ironic because such a movie technically already exists. It's called Starship Troopers. That's what it's based off of. And it's released in 1997. If they don't cast that film's lead actor who is self-supported fan of the game, then what's even the point? I just think that when you're missing all these games, why are you focusing on video game movies and shows when you should be focusing more on games? Sony didn't have updates on any of the other PlayStation movie projects it has in the pipeline, although it did announce a Ghost of Tsushima anime series. Again, there goes something else. Something that was rumored to be in development back in 2025. It is set to release in 2027, and unlike the live action movie, which is expected to be a straight adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima's main plot, right, Ghost of Tsushima movie too. The anime is instead adapting the Ghost of Tsushima Legends multiplayer mode, which was more fantastical and featured enemies inspired by Japanese mythology. Every PlayStation movie and TV show in development: Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, Gravity Rush. Oh man, another one. Helldivers, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted sequel, Until Dawn. Last of Us is around the corner. They might continue that with Last of Us 3. And then we saw the other stuff we just asked for. So as for TV shows, aside from the Ghost of Tsushima anime and the second season of The Last of Us and Twisted Metal, God of War is meant to be getting an adaptation for Amazon Prime. Oh boy. However, a Deadline report from last October revealed showrunner Rafe Judkins left the project alongside executive producers Hawk Otsby and Mark Fergus, seemingly leaving the project in limbo. Sony showed off a new trailer for the second season of Last of Us at CES, which will begin airing in April, and shared the first real story details for its Until Dawn movie, which nobody's going to care about. Last of Us will be fine, although I wish they would have had better uh, Chloe, or whatever the hell her name is. Ellie, yeah, whatever. Said movie is meant to be out this April, but I have so much stuff on right now. But next to nothing has been shown of it. Only do we know that it won't be a straight adaptation of the original game, although Peter Stormare, or however the fuck you say his name, will still make an appearance at psychiatrist Dr. Hill, who will serve as a connective thread between the movie and the game. You can watch Sony CES presentation in full on YouTube. No, thank you. The event was typically um, never been the place for new game announcements, so anyone expected Sony to announce a new God of War or something was always going to be disappointed. Well, yeah, we just saw the canceled God of War game, so that ain't happening. A lot of dumb stuff going on over there in the PlayStation world. Nevertheless, compared to the 11 movie and TV projects listed above, there are, not counting PC ports, currently only 4 first-party Sony games confirmed to be in development: Ghost of Yotei, Wolverine, Intergalactic, and live service game Fair Game. Let's just go ahead and say 3 because we don't want that happening. We know that that's just going to be abysmal. So let's go ahead and say 3, right? That's going to fail. And I don't know about that Horizon live service game either. I don't know about Bungie's marathoning. Sony's in trouble. Others are rumored, and Sony is planning to publish third party titles such as Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding 2. See, they said third party because Kojima took and now owns the license of Death Stranding 2, if y'all don't know that. Sony doesn't have that IP anymore. So he wants to put it on PC, he wants to put it on Nintendo Switch 2, he wants to put it on Xbox. Because we saw Death Stranding 1 went there. So obviously 2 is going to come. But in terms of internally developed games, that's all that's currently confirmed. This seems especially strange given that many of the franchises being adapted have not had new entries announced in several years, and some like Days Gone and Gravity Rush seem unlikely ever to get them. Yeah, Sony Bang got screwed over, right? They canceled their project yesterday. It's like, what are you doing? With any luck, Sony will have more tangible announcements at a future State of Play, which is coming next month if you want to know about that presentation, although there's currently no clue as to when that will be. Yeah, according to Nate the Hate, it's February, and a lot of people are taking them serious, definitely after that Nintendo Switch jackpot. He threw it right on the money, man. It hit right that day, so I got a lot of feed too. You know how the world works. But yeah, guys, there we have that. So yeah, you know what's so funny? Look at this PlayStation fanboy over here. let's just highlight how goofy this guy is and just ignorant. I applaud PlayStation for not putting out products they cannot stand behind. No, dumbass. They should have never done that to begin with. They should have been having Sony been working on Days Gone 2 and Blue Point working on a Bloodborne remake. What are we talking about here? And instead of Concord, we should have been getting something like Warhawk or Insomniac having a next gen Resistance remake or somebody else getting on it, right? We could have got an Infamous next gen remake. We could have had a Twisted Metal next gen. We could have had so many better games. Siphon Filter, right? IPs just sitting there, but instead you want to do something like that, or even a new Killzone instead of that. But no, let's not do that. Then he says, anyone who habitually interacts with creativity knows that 90% of your work is left behind, and the 10% you do release isn't guaranteed success either. That's the nature of the beast. You're trying to sound smart, but you're being an idiot. What you should be doing is criticizing him, talking about I applaud PlayStation. What are you talking about? It's bad leadership. Shut up. The hell is wrong with him? Let's go down here. Still, I do not believe that live service should be Sony's focus. Oh yeah, you're gonna come and defend yourself. They must become great at multiplayer games, but live service is a Pandora's box, obviously, or maybe a necessary evil. Doesn't have to be. I think multiplayer PvE games with no live service elements are an untapped market. This guy says, should we applaud them for wasting their best studio's time and on bullshit live service projects? You see, that's what I like to see. Somebody came in here being more realistic, right? Because that's actually an intelligent reply. Yes, ask how many single player games were canceled. This guy's slow. That's all I have to say about that. So why authorize it? Exactly. They don't understand this because they never created anything worthwhile. Did you say the same for Scalebound? Twisted Metal being canceled is baffling. Would tie in greatly with the TV show. I think they learned their lesson with Concord. Yeah, if they released fair game, no, they did not. Exactly. Sadly, canceling games is part of the reality of video games. They sure put out Concord. You know, people are gonna come in with that. They still release Concord, which is baffling. But like I said, if they put out Fair Game, that's gonna be worse than releasing Concord because you should not release that game, and it would be worse. Guys, we're gonna find out if they do that. Let's hope not. But all in all, like, comment, subscribe. Glad to do this. You know, just covering every angle here, and we're seeing the full picture here now. All right, y'all. Xbox, we're gonna be eating this year. Oh, we're in Xbox space. Nintendo, we're eating this year. PlayStation, you might be eating every once in a while, but y'all gonna be starving for some games elsewhere. And they're gonna be coming from Sony. All right, y'all. They're gonna have to lock some games away from other platforms to do that. PC gamers, they're eating. Peace out, y'all.